Good evening, everyone. Very warm welcome to all of you, and I appreciate you all taking time out and attending this webinar. Uh, myself, I'm Professor Vikram. I am from Acharya School of Management. So, in today's webinar, I will be discussing some of the very critical and very important topics in terms of your career, and let me also share some of the strategies that you will have to be aware of in order to have a successful career. So, without much ado, let me start the presentation. So, in terms of the points that I will be covering, or the take-home points that you will be having from this webinar is, first, I would like to spend some time understanding the impact of this corona, COVID, which has become a big problem to all of us. And I will also discuss how you as a student should be prepared to launch your career successfully. The second point that I'll be discussing here is the new generation career opportunities that are available for aspiring young managers like you. I'll also quickly run through some of the important points on job market trends, and then I will be talking about some of the key tips on what the companies look for when they recruit management students. This is a very important point, I believe, for all of you. The third point, the last point that I'll be discussing here is what are some of the critical or important points that you as a student should keep in mind when you select any institution for your post-graduation in management. So this is the brief outline of what I will be covering in today's session. Now, as I said, first let us try to understand some of the unconventional hiring trends. What has changed in the recent past? How is the hiring happening now for MBA or PGDM freshers? The most important thing here is there is a new vertical which has shaped up, which is called HR Tech, that is Human Resource Tech. So this is completely changing the way recruitment is used to work. So it is now technology driven, not like traditional process driven recruitment drive. It is completely technology driven, right from identifying the candidate to finding out the right fit for the candidate. Talent branding, companies are taking very seriously because they want to brand their talent and showcase it to their clients so that they get more orders. This is very interesting. Project-based hiring is something where the MBA freshers or PGDM fresh students are given some projects to test their capabilities and competency levels. So I will explain that more in the next 2 points. Earlier, we used to have more focus on written test and GD. Whenever recruitment used to happen, the first thing companies would do is they come to our campus, they conduct a written test, and the next step would be they conduct a GD, and they shortlist students based on your academic record, past academic record, written test, and GD. Now that has completely changed. Companies are no more interested in doing that elaborated process. They want to quickly understand who are the students who can actually deliver. So that is the reason why I said project-based hiring. Give a student a project, test if he can do the project, maybe a 1 hour project or maybe 2 days project, and understand if he can complete the project with full I'm sorry, with full force and accurately, and then hire him. So this is how it is going on now. So it means, what does that mean? It means you will have to be more prepared in terms of your skill sets. You cannot say, I know this theory, I know that concept. Gone are those days. Now you have to be more focused on your skill sets. Gig economy, as all of you may be knowing, in the gig economy, there is no concept of trying to hire permanent employees. Everybody is hired based on their capabilities, and one person can get n number of projects, he can work with n number of companies. That's a very big opportunity which has taken a very good shape in US and some of the Western developed countries. And slowly India is also witnessing this gig economy where the opportunities are a lot. Now, coming to the question of COVID and how it has impacted our career, what we have to understand here is just look at these logos, how companies have changed their communication. We all know that these are the famous logos. McDonald's this is the logo of the McDonald's. Now they have changed it something like this to communicate the importance of social distancing. Mastercard, which has been our partner for all our banks, they have also communicated that this is the new normal. So they have kind of communicated to their customers the importance of social distancing. And the famous and our favorite Nike has also come out and said just don't do it. So if companies are trying to communicate things differently, if companies are adapting themselves to tackle this COVID, then we as students should also change the way we think, change the way we communicate to the world. So now what is happening is I witness a lot of companies changing their business model. They have understood that post-COVID, the business will not be the same. So they are thinking different ways and means to be more careful, to come out with a lot of innovation. So they are basically changing their business model. Now, the importance of cost optimization and redefined hiring strategy, it means companies have now understood that going forward, they have to ensure that the money that they spend, be it on hiring or any other various things, have to be redefined. It means they will hire, yes, they are going to hire, but they will hire much more carefully now. They will not hire everybody and anybody. They will be cost conscious. They will start screening the candidates for their key skills. So what does that mean? It means the demand for freshers is going to shoot up, for the simple reason because let us say if a company has 10 employees who have 3 or 5 plus of years of experience, their salary levels are different. Now obviously post COVID, companies would look for hiring freshers who can be hired for a much lesser salary as compared to somebody with 5 or 10 years of corporate experience. Now the challenge is, yes, hiring for freshers, there will be a huge demand, but will everybody get hired? I don't think so. Now there are data says around 14 lakh MBA students pass out every year. The data also says only 5 to 10% of these MBAs are employable. It means remaining don't have the key skills which are required for companies. So this COVID has once again made all the companies think about competency of freshers in terms of their skills. So it is very much important that we start understanding this and we start building our career to acquire as much as skills as possible. Now, when we talk about skills, what are these skills which companies look for or value when they hire freshers? So earlier in the past, we always used to have the focused we focused heavily on knowledge. In my time, for example, I'm a BCom graduate and later I did my masters. During my when I went for job interviews, knowledge was heavily focused. If somebody can remember those 50 formulas that were taught in financial management or any other subject, that person would have been given more preference because he remembers a lot of things. But now those things are gone. Nobody cares because if you can see, I've written Google here in the style of the knowledge here in the style of Google. It means knowledge is freely available in Google. Any company, any manager can browse, read, understand. That's it. But what they can't do is they can't suddenly develop skill sets in their teams. So these are some of the strong skill sets which are very much relevant, especially post-COVID world. Now, what are these skills? The first one is strong understanding of business and revenue models of companies. We have different companies. We have new generation companies. We have companies like Big Bazaar, but we also have a company called Amazon competing with Big Bazaar. Big Bazaar has a different business and revenue model. Amazon has altogether different revenue model, business model. So they need students who can understand different business and revenue models of different companies. That is one critical skill. If you don't understand a business, then I don't think you will be hired. The next one, data to decision. It means if you are given a data set, can you take a business decision? Can you analyze the data and take a business decision? A huge challenge. It's a key skill, very much valued, but a lot of MBA freshers don't have this skill. Likewise, you have business analytics. Can you analyze, if suppose, let us say, if I give you customer data of 100 companies of, let us say, Zomato. If I send the Excel file to you, can you analyze and give me some strategic inputs? That is the key challenge. So that is done by business analytics, which are taught in some of the B schools, and we also teach this in Acharya School of Management. Effective presentation skill, yes, it is always important. It was important. It will be important going ahead. Descriptive analytics is again data driven. Can you describe a problem? Can you come out with different ways of describing a problem and trying to come out with a solution becomes critical. The next one is very much important. Predictive models. Most of the companies are very much keen and interested to know what could be my sales next month, what could be my sales for the next 3 months, 1 year, or 5 years. Can you build a predictive model and help companies to figure out these things, or can you identify, for example, the other day I was talking to somebody who is working in Amazon, and that person was he was saying the key challenge for them is to predict which are these customers who always return the products, and what can we do. So that is called predictive model. Who are these people and for what type of product? When the Amazon as a company, when they ship a product, if they know that the customer is going to return it back, then they can take a lot of preemptive decisions and avoid it, right? So they can make sure that the sale happens. So likewise, there are a lot of opportunity for you to build predictive models, and these things have to be taught to you in your classroom inside the syllabus, right? We cannot be saying, okay, you go outside and study all these things. So these things have to be taught to you. There is something called as prescriptive analytics, where you will analyze the data set and prescribe, like a doctor, what needs to be done. That data wrangling, that is data cleaning, data structuring, and data generation process we call. Negotiation skills, as I said, like your presentation skills, it was useful earlier and it will be more useful going ahead. Design thinking is the way in which you design, you think. Basically, design thinking gives you a framework for understanding critical decision making process. So these are some of the points that I have collected when I was interacting with some of the corporates. Like recently Amazon came to our campus for recruitment, and they were kind of offering around 8 lakh rupees as a salary package. I was discussing with these employees. Some of our students got shortlisted, and I was uh, chatting with the HR, and I understood that from them that these are some of the critical skills which they are going to look for when they hire freshers. So the next question is, okay, all right, if we have these skills, suppose let us say one of the student comes and says, yes sir, I have acquired these skills and I've practiced it. What are the job opportunities available for me? I'm going to discuss those in my next slide. These are the new generation career opportunities. Data scientist is one of the most popular, most valued, and highly paid job opportunity. It is said that on an average, a data scientist with a business background is offered close to 8 to 12 lakh rupees. So this is the salary range that has been offered. Of course, you should have a lot of experience, and you should have you should know exactly how to analyze data, but it is a very popular and highly paid job these days. Because of COVID, yes, the importance of healthcare management has gone up significantly. We are also trying to find out different areas where this will going forward take shape. But what we have done in Acharya School of Management is we have earlier launched this specialization called healthcare management now, which we believe will have major, very good demand going ahead for this specialization. There's something called digital media managers. You have business analysts, data analysts, people who are interested in pursuing their career in human resource. I suggest you also research more on HR analytics. And for finance, I say fintech and HR finance analytics. You have something called as financial econometrics. Which these skills are critical. These are some of the job profiles which are available for young managers like you. Some of the very potential but not so known career options I have listed here. One interesting thing is cricket analytics. Uh, Very recently, ESPN gave an ad, and they wanted to hire freshers who have good knowledge in cricket and some other sports, few other sports. This is completely new, completely surprising. And when I was researching on it, the ad said, the job description said, we need people who understand cricket as a game in detail and people who can analyze cricket data. This was never heard of earlier. So cricket analytics has good demand. If you are especially someone who is doing your MBA or PGDM, you have to understand that this is a new vertical and it has got huge demand, and I'm sure you will enjoy these jobs. Very new jobs. I liked it a lot. There is a huge demand for creative writers, somebody who can write well about businesses, because word of mouth being a significant contributor to sales, creative writing matters a lot. So business postgraduate student who has these skills is a fantastic opportunity. Fintech, and there is a huge demand for fintech and social media managers, because as you all know that most of the companies have now shifted to the online or digital marketing mode. So that demand is very high. Image consultant is somebody who manages the brand image or personality of some key CEOs of a company. Again, a huge demand. New but huge demand. Statisticians, economists, there's a huge demand. Ethical hacking, somebody with a business background, post graduation at 2 years, somebody can has the skill of ethical hacking. Outstanding demand there. Drone technology is coming up very well. Clean tech and blockchain. Blockchain is one thing which will shape the banking and financial services of the future. So these are some of the areas where MBA or PGDM should be focusing on, in my view. As I said, the business analytics and data scientist will be in huge demand. And Harvard, one of the world's top business school, in their journal, they called data scientist to be the most sexiest job of 21st century. This is what they are saying. So it means you can understand the kind of demand that that profile has. Going next, uh, what do companies look for in a management student during recruitment? Okay, now let us assume you have finished your master's degree, you are close to closing the program, and let us also assume, imagine that on a given day there is a interview process going on and you are ready for the interview. What do they look for? What do companies look for? In short, as I've mentioned in this image or GIF, they look for star performers. Somebody who is highly energetic, stunning, somebody who thinks differently, somebody who presents himself very well. These are critical. But along with that, they would test the candidate if the candidate has theoretical knowledge or he has this application oriented thinking. Okay, that becomes very critical. I myself, in my previous corporate experience, I've taken a lot of interviews for freshers. Most of the MBAs, because of the outdated syllabus, what they do is they always by heart some of the answers, and they try to answer everything bookish, right? That doesn't help. Companies don't function that way. They want people who are application oriented. Creativity is critical, right? Can you think altogether differently? Out of box thinking to solve a problem is valued very much. The third point is very much important: trainability. Now you are a fresher. If I am your hiring manager, I would definitely try to understand if the candidate is trainable. Can I train him? Can I mentor him? If I feel that I cannot train this candidate, then there is no point in me hiring, because I cannot train him. So that is a waste of resource for me. So you have to be trainable. Key skills I've discussed in my previous slides, the importance of key skills. Now, on your resume, when you're presenting your resume to the recruiter will be very keen to know what else apart from your academic thing that have you mentioned on your resume. So in that particular sense, corporate projects become very much important. Companies would like to know how many projects, how many mini research topics have you done, and how confident are you about explaining those projects. So what we do in Acharya School of Management basically is, uh, every trimester we encourage students to do a lot of mini projects, lot of corporate projects, and mention these things on their resume. So the resume gets extended. uh, there are around, some of my students, they have 3 to 4 pages of resumes where they have mentioned mini projects, mini research projects, live projects. They go to companies, they ask their problems, they try to solve and mention that on your resume or CV. That matters a lot. How much of industry contacts you have? 2 years of your post graduation, when you are spending time, let's say MBA or PGDM for 2 years, are you able to build some of the industry contacts? How many people in the industry do you think you know? Becomes very much important, because that is your reference check. Model building ability, as I said, corporates are very sophisticated in their decision making. They adopt model building as a concept to solve the problem. So, do you have the ability to build a model, analyze the model, and suggest solution? That becomes critical. Effective presentation, social media appearance. A lot of students, they miss this point. I have seen many students who are whose Facebook profile or WhatsApp status or LinkedIn messages, a LinkedIn page, to be very raw and crude. That doesn't help, because you're applying for a job. So you have to have a very polished social media appearance, which we do in Acharya School of Management when we run finishing school in the last trimester for all our students. Now, right institution, how should you select a right institution for your MBA or PGDM program? Uh, in short, you have to select that institution which supports you wherever you are and wherever you go. So that becomes critical. Now, the first thing that you'll have to check is, what is the historical placement record of this institution? Uh, have they placed students in diverse industries? What is the average salary package? All these things you will have to understand before you proceed, right? To quickly share our experience of Acharya School of Management, placements have always been very good for us. It has been extremely well in the last year. Some of the students being offered in Amazon. Uh, we have done always very good placement because of the key skill sets that we have focused on, and the updated curriculum which we encourage students to learn. Another important point here is free-placed stipend-based internship. Uh, can the institute or the faculty team, can they support students in terms of offering them stipend-based internships? If that is not possible, then it also means that you will find it very difficult to kind of find out a good internship where the company is ready to pay, because only if they value something in you, they will pay. If they find nothing useful, they may say, okay, I may not give you a stipend, but simply do the job and I'll issue a certificate. So that makes a huge difference. And when you go for a job, it is always good to mention that I was earning a stipend of so much, 20,000 rupees or 30,000 rupees per month, and that communicates that the company which hired you for internship valued your service. A very important point: is the program approved by All India Council for Technical Education, which is the regulatory for B School, Ministry of HRD, Government of India. Let me share my experience here. A lot of students, they don't understand the importance of AICT approval. Without AICT approval, your post-graduation is not a degree at all. You'll have to keep this in mind. There are cases where students have come to me and they've said, "Sir, my degree is, affiliated by another some association, IMA or some other association, some other various foreign international thing." No, you'll have to be very clear about it. If it has to be called as a post-graduation master's degree, then it is very clear that the college which is issuing this or running the program should have AICTE approval. In fact, the degree actually comes from AICTE, the central government of India, right? So without this, please do not go for any programs which doesn't have AICTE approval. Be very careful there. When you are analyzing any business schools, carefully go to their website or their brochures and try and understand if the B school is offering programs in data science, business analytics, marketing analytics, HR analytics, financial econometrics. These are new generation subjects which the B schools should offer, and I'm very glad that we at Acharya School of Management have started offering these courses from the last 5 years. So that has been one of our major I'm sorry, major achievement, I must say. Curriculum designed by corporates. This is very critical because if academicians who doesn't have any corporate experience, if they sit around and if they are designing the curriculum, that curriculum will not be having any edge in terms of the knowledge and skills that you acquire, because it will be highly theoretical. So how do we solve this problem? What we do at Acharya School of Management is every trimester we call the board meet of all of the corporates who are there on the board, and we present our curriculum to them, and we ask them to vet the curriculum, and they design the curriculum. They suggest us what needs to be taught, what needs to be removed from the syllabus. So it means a student who is studying with us is studying the curriculum which is highly updated and which is industry driven, so the chances of he getting placed is very high. The B school should have a very strong business or industry network. How many companies can you contact as a B school, and how many of them can work with you? How many of them can collaborate with you in ensuring that your students get best of the best skills and knowledge? That becomes critical. You have to ask these questions to to any institution that you are planning to join. Foreign university collaboration is very much critical, simply because uh, in India we have our own business practices, we have our own style of running businesses, but in most of the developed nations, they have their own style of running businesses. They have their own best practices, which many a times Indian companies try to adopt and benchmark. Now, if we as a B school, if we are collaborated with foreign universities, it means that we are trying to understand the best practices across the globe, right? So in fact, what we do here is, in Acharya School of Management, we have two programs. One is called International Immersion Program, and the second one is called International Erasmus Mundus Scholarship. In the International Immersion Program, students are taken to a foreign country. Each year the country differs. Last year our students went to Singapore. The previous year they went to France, University of Lorraine. So they go to different countries, stay there for a period of 2 to 4 weeks, study in the foreign university. Foreign university professors, they teach them. That is called real exposure. So for any B school to execute such things, it means they have to have a collaboration, very strong collaboration with foreign universities. Faculty, see, I jokingly always say you cannot learn swimming with a correspondence program or online, right? You cannot learn swimming online. This is very much important. If your faculty members do not have corporate experience, it means what they deliver in the classroom will be only theory once again. The problem is you would have already finished your BCom, BBA, BBM, or engineering, BSc, various other courses. Whatever theory and methodology was taught to you in your graduation will once again more or less repeat in your post graduation, and that should not happen, because you are investing money and time. And if you are studying once again same old things, there's no use at all. So having faculty members with rich corporate experience really matters. Yeah, this is a very good point. Technology integrated syllabus. Today in my class, what I do is when I am teaching, for example, I come from finance background, I teach finance subjects. I may teach a subject called accounting for managers or financial management. When I'm teaching these subjects, I don't teach it in a theoretical class. I take my students to lab. I ask them to open advanced Microsoft Excel, or I ask them to use Python programming. There are various other software platforms and tools. So my syllabus, which I'm trying to teach, is completely technology integrated. So I ask my students to do it in the lab, not in the classroom, because the student is, if I train my students like that, he's already ready for a job. So that becomes very much important. You have to keep this in mind. Blended and hybrid learning, yes. Face-to-face classes are always available, which are very much important. But does the institute also support online with the online platform? Will the student be able to access the repository of all the online materials, videos? Yes, that becomes very much important, especially because of this COVID cases. Now, as I mentioned earlier, suppose let us say you have finished 1 year of your post graduation. What are some of the 10 points that you are going to write on your resume? Matters a lot. When I speak to a lot of MBA students, when I ask them, what can you write on your CV under the section skills? Many of them have no clue. The CV is only one page. They mention their academic record, their internship, one line detail on internship, and they have some heading, which according to me is a foolish heading. They say personal interest, listening music, browsing internet. Everybody writes the same. Father name, mother name, done. Such resumes will not attract any attention from corporates. They'll outrightly reject it. So, what is that you can write on your resume after you complete 3 months, 6 months, 1 year, or 2 years becomes critical. If you are able to write certain model building, predictive models, some of the key skills that I've mentioned earlier, that attracts a lot of attention to your resume. Now, in terms of technology, as I was speaking, these are some of the platforms that is a must and should for all the post-graduation students, be it PGDM or MBA. These skills are critical. You cannot say I come from BCom background, so it's okay for me not to learn Excel. No, everybody should learn all these platforms. Uh, what we do basically at Acharya School of Management is we start these things slowly, little bit, drop by drop in the from the first day of your classes. So when I teach you all these things day one, you will be ready when you finish your 2 years. So that way you have to upgrade yourselves with these skills, and that is how we do at Acharya School of Management. Case-based teaching, yes. Uh, I I don't think we should be teaching theory related stuff in the classroom. These are some of my cases where I have discussed very recently in my class. How does Netflix make money? What are the challenges that they face? How is Amazon trying to reinvent their business model by analyzing customer data? What are the challenges of BMW? How are they solving the problem? How did Zomato come out with a very tricky ad very recently, which increased their sales by 30%? These are some of the things which we discuss in Acharya School of Management inside the classroom. So students understand what is actually happening outside in the corporate world. So case study based teaching is very, very important in any program that you are going to join. Now, coming to the questions that you have to ask yourself when you are approaching any institution for your MBA or PGDM admissions. First, you have to ask yourself, what is the difference between MBA and PGDM program? You have to understand this very critically, because you have to know that which program is suitable for you. At Acharya, we offer both the programs. We have a MBA program which does very well. We also have another program which is autonomous, which comes under AICTE, which has the freedom to redefine the curriculum, which is doing really well. So both the programs are available. you have to make a call. You have to research and understand which program is more suitable for me. Then you should also understand why is that the top B schools in the world, be it Harvard or Stanford, Marathon Business School, Columbia Business School, or in the Indian context, all IIMs, IIM Ahmedabad, IIM Bangalore, IIM Calcutta, all these top institutions, they offer only PGDM and they don't offer MBA. So you have to research and understand why is that so. Uh, Another important question, I have discussed this earlier. Just go to their website and check whether this is a AICTE, MHRD, Government of India approved program. It is very much important. Another question you have to ask is, will the institute update the curriculum every now and then? What is the frequency of updation? Are they still teaching the very old syllabus, 50, 60 years old syllabus? These are some of the critical questions, right? At Acharya School of Management, every 90 days we revise the curriculum. Trimester means 90 days, right? We run on a trimester basis. So every trimester we revise, upgrade our curriculum to make sure that we are teaching something which is relevant in the industry. Online support with physical classroom, is it available, becomes very important because of this COVID issue. Another highlight point is, most of the B schools do not offer the flexibility for the student to work when he is doing his post graduation. That is one differentiating factor with Acharya School of Management. What we do is we have this scheme which is called as, where the student is allowed to work in a company when he's pursuing his post graduation. This gives you both monetary support as well as corporate experience when you are undergoing your post graduation. That is very much important, and I'm very glad that we are successfully supporting and encouraging students to do this. As I mentioned in my earlier screen, what are the technology tools that the B school is teaching the students? You should ask this question to the institution where you are trying to get admitted. International exposure, I have explained how we do at Acharya School of Management, because management program is not a program like your engineering or physics course, right, where you go into a lab, try and understand few things. This is not a traditional course. For this course, getting international exposure is very much important because it expands your thinking horizon and it makes you a better manager. So you should check what are the international exposures available. At this stage, I will take a short break. I will allow you to ask questions if any, and I'm glad to answer those. Hello. Okay, there is a question here. It says, sir, English is not my first language. Will this be a problem while doing MBA? The answer is both yes and no, because English is very much important, because the whole corporate world interacts, communicates mainly in English, in terms of their meetings, in terms of their email exchanges, everything is in English. But having said that, more than English, some of the critical skills that I've mentioned, like model building, predictive modeling, prescriptive analytics, descriptive analytics, these skills are valued very much. What happens in any typical B school is that most of the students, because we Indians, we are not very much comfortable with English. So what we do at Acharya School of Management is we start training our students on a course called Business English. Business English. This happens from day one. All the students are made to undergo an English training program, conducted by Cambridge University. There is this examination called Beck Vantage Business English Communication. In the sense, we don't simply teach the general or grammar based English. There is a specialized course called Business English Communication, BEC, which is offered by Cambridge University. So all the students who are studying at Acharya, they will have to undergo this training and the examination. So when you put this on your resume saying, I have Beck Vantage Business English Communication Vantage certification, which is directly offered from Cambridge University, that adds a lot of value. So don't worry about your English language levels. That is taken care. We support all the students to undergo this training program, and I'm very sure, I've seen this myself, lot of students who complete this training program, they have fantastic communication skills. So that part is taken care. You need not worry. There are very specialized and friendly trainers who are empaneled on Cambridge University. They train students, they handhold them, they are very friendly. So that part is taken care. Do not worry too much about it. But yes, it is very much important. You will have to undergo the training. All right. The next question is, I'll just read out the question. Now I am in my last year of graduation. Will it be a good decision that I will take 1 year of gap after my graduation and work in a job and then start my MBA? I don't recommend this simply because many of the students, what they do is they start thinking like this, and they say, okay, let me take a break. Now it so happens that they may not be able to go back to the academics, right? So they start working in a company, and only with their graduation, many a times the job opportunity or the job profile or the quality of work that they get is very poor. So you start at a very the bottom level of the company, and then you try to work as an executive and try to grow. It doesn't happen because most of the companies, especially multinational companies, they prefer students with post graduation in management. It is very clear. So it makes a lot of sense. If I were you, I were in your position, I would always have pursued my master's degree in business, acquire those critical skills, and then go for a job. Because after me acquiring those skills, the opportunities are very good, the salary packages are very high, and I get to start at a managerial level and not at executive level. So that is my strong opinion. The next question is residential program better than a day school? I don't agree with this. It depends. You shouldn't be making a decision based on whether the program is residential or whether the program is a day school program. The focus should be on only one simple question: what key skills are you acquiring during your 2-year program? That's it. Rest all can be addressed, taken care. Residential, there are many B schools where they have residential program, they are good. There are many B schools where they don't have residential program, but they're still doing great. uh, in my view, for the younger generation, some of them may feel restricted if we say stay in this campus only full time. This generation may not agree to that, because they may look for the freedom to stay wherever they want and pursue the program. That's their call. But I don't think on this point we should be making any decisions. Quality of alumni wise, which B schools would you recommend? Yeah, this is a very good question. Most of the B schools, they have their own alumni association, but you will have to carefully check where these alumni are working. In most of the B schools, the alumni are working in typical B companies with night shifts. Those are not the jobs which I recommend to my students. At Acharya School of Management, I'm very proud and happy to say that some of my students, some of our alumni students are working with some of the top-notch investment banking firms, top-notch data science companies, top-notch food and beverages companies, FMCG. So these are some of the companies where alumni should be working. And yes, that's a valid question. You have to carefully research and check where the alumni are working, because that will give you a first-hand information of the quality of placements that the B school offers. Good question. Now there is another question by Miss Ayesha. She says, I'm pursuing BTech final year. After that, I'm thinking to do MBA program. Which college is best for MBA? It depends on few factors, Aisha. Like as I said, it depends on what you are looking out from the program. If you are someone who is because you are a BTech student, if you are someone who is tech savvy, who is someone who is passionate about technology and business integration, how to use technology for solving business problem. If these are the things which you are looking for, then definitely, as I mentioned, you should be looking at our curriculum, our subjects taught at Acharya School of Management, where we are teaching data science, financial analytics, financial modeling, marketing analytics, retail analytics, cricket analytics, sports analytics. These are some of the tech-driven subjects that we are teaching within the syllabus. Please remember, I am saying this. These are not additional courses that we are offering. This is part of the syllabus. Now, this is why we have been very successful in making sure that the industry is accommodating our students in a very managerial roles. So that becomes very much important. Please, you may connect with me for more details. I'm happy to share all the details, the curriculum of Acharya School of Management. Yeah, these are some of the points which you have to be very careful of. Yeah. There is another question. It says, sir, can you add something about pharma MBA? How is it different? A very relevant question post coronavirus problem. The whole world is now will be now more careful about health and health related things. So healthcare management is one area where we are expecting a huge demand for freshers, especially MBA or PGDM freshers. So that is the reason why we are also expecting that the specialization which we are offering in Acharya School of Management, specialization called healthcare management. So that should have most demand this year. Yes, it is a very good question. You have to focus more on this. If you are very much passionate about some pharmacy and healthcare, makes a lot of sense. Please research, how and what kind of demand will be there. And if you want me to share any more details about our program in healthcare management, I'm very much glad to do it. Sir, any age limit to study PGDM? There is no age limit. You can study I have senior people in one of the next slide I'll be showing. I have a program at Acharya School of Management. We have a program called executive program. This is purely for corporates who are at mid-level management, right? So these are people who are from, let's say, I have these students coming from Microsoft, Capgemini, Goldman Sachs, Samsung. These executives who are having 15, 20 years of corporate experience, they are pursuing this program at Acharya School of Management. So there is no age limit. You can pursue at any age. That is not a problem. Up next, the next question is, can you elaborate more on ethical hacking and data science? The second question is, some companies offer PG with job offer. Is it good? Okay, let me take the first question. Ethical hacking is, I think we all know about hacking, right? Hacking means, recently we had this episode with Yes Bank. Already they were in trouble, and a set of hackers who were from China and various parts of the world, they were trying to hack the Yes Bank website and steal the data. So that is called hacking. To prevent hacking, there is another concept called ethical hacking. So what we do is, companies recruit some of the talented minds and they ask them to hack their website. So that is called ethical hacking. So I will be, me as a company, I want to be more careful, and I try to hack my own website and digital database before others hack. Because when you understand that there is a loophole in your system and it can be hacked, you will be able to fix it. So that is called ethical hacking. You hack your own website to test whether it is foolproof or it is easy for others to hack. So this has got huge demand, right? And these, some of these skills are covered in your syllabus. So that is very much important in today's world, because everything is online. Coming to the second part of your first question, data science. As I mentioned, companies, new generation companies like Uber, Ola, Flipkart, Paytm, Amazon, all these, Zomato, all these companies, they run primarily on data, right? Everything is decided based on data. So data science is that area which uses data to make business decisions. So that is again a massive field, huge demand, huge job opportunity. We have just recently played, we're successfully able to send some of our best students, and they have been observed really well in the industry. So that is data science for you. The second question in your in the chat box I see is, some companies offer post graduation with job offer. Is it good? I'm not too sure which are the companies which are doing this, because I'm not too sure if AICT allows this. I may have to check, but be careful. You will have to check whether the post graduation offered by these companies are AICT approved. So the responsibility of doing research is on you. Among the next question is, among MBA and PGDM, which one has greater career opportunity and better demand in corporate world? Among okay, it is repeated. You see, as I said, you will have to understand what you need from any of these programs. MBA program is typically a university-based program. The state government-run universities or the private universities, they offer this program. It comes from the state government, right? So it has its own pros and cons. On the other hand, PGDM, the degree comes from AICTE, meaning they approve the degree end of the day. So if you ask me personally, I teach in both MBA and PGDM program. The advantage with PGDM is the curriculum, right? The curriculum is always updated. Companies are very much happy with the curriculum offered by PGDM program. So it captures all the new things, technology related things which are happening in the world today. So in my personal view, this is my personal view, I would strongly recommend PGDM program over MBA program. The next question is, I am in the final year and want to do MBA. Should I take a break and prepare for MBA examination? Would you suggest, sir? Yes, I would definitely suggest that. You prepare yourself for the MBA program. See, end of the day, you are spending 2 years of your time and you are investing a lot of money in this. So prepare well, research a lot, understand which B schools offer what. See, I'll tell you, I've been in industry for more than 15 years, and now I've been with academics. Most of the B school, they talk a lot about, in terms of what they do, what they did. These are marketing related things that they speak, but it is the responsibility of the student to cross verify each one of them and really understand. I've seen a lot of fancy websites about different B schools. They write crazy things on their website. Maintaining a website or writing something on website is very easy, but when you actually ask the B school to give the syllabus will be very old, right? So this point you have to understand. So prepare well. If you are planning to write any entrance test, go for it, take it very seriously. By chance, if you are not able to write any entrance exam, there are other options available, in the sense we at Acharya School of Management, we run our own entrance test, and we want students to take that entrance test very seriously, and there will be an interview process. We take a detailed interview of the student to understand whether he can be a good fit in the classroom, whether he will be able to contribute to the classroom learning and peer learning. Then only we admit. In short, yes, you have to be very careful in preparing for the exam. But if you ask me, you will take 1 year break for preparing, I don't suggest that, because you will be wasting 1 full year just for preparing for entrance test. Parallelly, during your last year of graduation, you should focus and prepare for your MBA entrance test. MBA or MBA International Finance, which one is better? Okay, this is again a name game, right? Many B schools, they have this fancy words, MBA International, MBA that, MBA this, doesn't matter. These are all branding, right? Look for a program where the syllabus focuses on key skills that I've mentioned in the presentation. I've seen a lot of business schools offering the same old syllabus but having a fancy title. It doesn't help, right? If I say MBA International, the syllabus should also reflect it, right? And what do you study in MBA International? The same syllabus you will be studying the old university-based syllabus. And in most of the cases, the students who have studied BBA, BCom, BBM, the same syllabus is repeated in MBA. So that doesn't make any sense. We shouldn't be doing that. And exactly that this is what will not happen at Acharya School of Management. Whatever you have studied in your post-graduation, we make sure we don't repeat it because you have already studied the theoretical part. Now is the time for you to focus on practical application and skill-based program. So be very careful about these fancy words. Dig more, research more on these subjects and tools and technology that has been taught. The next question is, sir, how do you rate between PGD and MBA? I've answered this question. PGDM has the flexibility in terms of curriculum. The curriculum is always updated. Most of the top B schools in the world, top B schools in India, they offer PGDM. They don't offer MBA. So in terms of your curriculum design, industry requirement, PGDM has a solid edge. You have to understand this. Yes, some students prefer MBA, some students prefer PGDM, but in terms of eligibility, both are same. In the sense, if tomorrow you want to go for a government job, PGDM students can also apply, MBA students can also apply. If somebody wants to do PhD after post-graduation, PGDM students can also apply, MBA students also can apply. Some of my students in the past, they are now working in government sectors. Some of them are working, they are doing their PhD. Validity wise, both are same. MBA comes from State University, PGDM comes from AICTE, Ministry of HRD, Government of India. That is the difference. The next question is, sir, I am looking to have my own startup. What should I look for in the curriculum that would most benefit me? What kind of infrastructure should I expect from the college to support me in this aspiration? A fantastic question, I must say. Most B schools, most top B schools, for example, IIM Ahmedabad, they have their own incubation. They call it as business incubation or startup incubation, where they support students with potential business ideas to start their company. They help them grow and they make sure they are successful. So this is the model which was being there in United States for a very long period of time. What we have done at Acharya School of Management is we have our own business incubation, which is called as ATBI, Acharya Technology and Business Incubation. What we primarily do is we support young, dynamic, daring entrepreneurs to come out with different innovative ideas, and we support them in the areas of legal consulting, funding requirement. We also fund a lot of startups. We support them in their marketing strategies. So the team, which is highly connected, we are well connected with the venture capital and angel seed organizations. We allow our students to take their business ideas and pitch it to these VC firms. So very recently, we have closed a deal, funding of some of our students who were coming out with a clean tech product, which is called Leafbox Technologies. We were successful in making sure that they got a funding of around 65 lakh rupees. So this is the infrastructure that we at Acharya School of Management has in terms of supporting students who are very much interested in starting up their own company and very passionate entrepreneurs. So the Acharya Technology and Business Incubation is very vibrant. You can visit us. You can I can share more details about the startups that we are having currently under our incubation. You can write to me to understand more about it. I will be happy sharing the details. Okay. MBA or PGDM in India or abroad? Okay, very good question once again. It depends, I must say. For example, earlier I would have definitely 5 years back or 3 years back, I would have suggested you consider a program outside. But now I don't think I can make that recommendation because traveling abroad and staying there, one is very expensive, right? The second point is post-COVID world, it can be very risky, right? It is not recommended. I don't know if your parents may allow that to happen, but having said that, wherever you study, doesn't matter, right? Uh, as I keep mentioning, you have to research more and understand what is being taught and how strong the alumni network is, how strong the faculty members are, how much corporate experience they have, because that is what will give you the real exposure. Along with that, what programs in terms of international exposure that the curriculum offers, you have to understand that. So it's your choice. Post-COVID world, you want to do it, it's completely your call. But you'll have to understand there are good number of B schools in India which supports you and which can deliver the same quality that is delivered outside abroad. So that is my answer to it. Okay, up next, sir, is there any difference between normal and executive PGDM? Yes, there is a lot of difference. Before I dive into the difference between them, first I'll tell you what are the similarities. Both are similar in the sense both will have to have AICT approval. That is mandatory because only then you can call it as a post-graduation degree, master's degree. In terms of the difference, executive program is offered at Acharya School of Management for those students who already have corporate experience, right? As I said, I have some students who are working in Microsoft, Capgemini, Samsung, these companies. So they already have corporate exposure, and they may not be able to resign their, quit their job and study 24/7 like a fresher student. So what we do is we offer them classes in the weekends. So they will have classes on Saturdays and Sunday full, but they may not come from Monday to Friday. But whereas for the normal PGDM program, the institution runs from Monday till Saturday, right? So these two are different programs. The freshers would need more teaching because they may not have corporate experience. They may have to attend a lot of lab sessions. Whereas the executive students may already be, they might have already got a very good experience and exposure. So they may require a little bit less number of classes. So it is tailored accordingly. Okay, the next question is, I am compare and orator, also has excellent marks. So my question is, which type of MBA is more match for me? After doing MBA, which is a best career that I should opt? Very good question. If you believe if you are very confident of certain skills that you already have, like you have mentioned, oratory skills, I suggest marketing for you. But you will have to understand that you should not be once again studying marketing theory, which you might have done in your graduation. So courses like marketing analytics, retail analytics will give you a lot of edge for you to do well in the areas of digital marketing, marketing analytics. These are some of the profiles which are in high demand. So I suggest marketing, but once again, not a very theory-based course. Please research something called marketing and retail analytics. You will understand better. All right. So if we are done with the questions, I'll just take 2 more minutes of your time to quickly brief you about Acharya School of Management. As I said, the Acharya School of Management is a 28-year-old institution, offers 2-year full-time program approved by AICTE, Ministry of HRD, Government of India. We have CGPA-based continuous evaluation to ensure that there is an all-round performance of the student, not just academics. The first year, the academic structure is like this. The first year is full of foundation to management. The second year you will be studying core plus specialization plus internship and projects. Now these are some of the specializations that we offer: data science, healthcare management, business analytics, financial management, marketing management, and human resource management. One important thing here is the international exposure. There are two programs under ASM. The first one is called International Immersion Program, where everybody in the class will be taken to a foreign university for a period of 2 to 4 weeks. They'll spend in the foreign country, in the foreign university, and they will learn from the foreign professors, and they come back with a certification. So that is one program which is mandatory for all the students, and we don't charge anything extra for this apart from your regular fees. Now the second program, which is not for everybody but for shortlisted students, there is this prestigious Erasmus Mundus scholarship program. In this program, if the student is selected, he or she will be spending 6 months time in a foreign university studying the course. Recently, some of our students have been shortlisted and they went to University of Alicante, Spain. They spent 6 months full, and the beauty is this is a 100% scholarship based program. You need not spend anything on this. Just getting the scholarship in itself is a great achievement, and on top of it, studying in the foreign university for a period of 6 months will give you a real international exposure. Now, once you come back, the credits are transferred from that university to Acharya School of Management. So it means this will be mentioned on your transcript, that is on your mark sheet. It says the student pursued 6 months of program in University of Alicante, Spain. So when this is written on your mark sheets, the recruiter who looks at it will definitely be more confident in hiring you because you have real international exposure. The course coverage, these are some of the courses that I have listed. It has artificial intelligence and machine learning for business, data mining, business intelligence. You have big data. All these tools and concepts, models and key skills are taught to you as a syllabus, not outside the syllabus. These are some of the companies which are our placement partners. As I said, she's one of our student who was studying in University of Alicante, Spain, and these are some of our top universities with whom we have collaborated. So we have collaboration with, this is a small list that I've mentioned here. All in all, we have around 23 foreign universities with whom we have collaborated for various academic and other things. Executive program, I've already mentioned. I have students from these companies studying with us. Now, what is the advantage for you? You will be interacting with these people who have 15-20 years of corporate experience. Now imagine one of your friend is working in Microsoft, one of your friend is working in Samsung. So if you are somebody who can build rapport with him, because he can offer a lot of learning insights for you, right? You as a fresher may not have these experience, but if you build a rapport with these people who are at mid managerial level or senior level, they can teach you a lot of things in terms of real corporate experience. So these are some of the students who will be sitting next to you. So that is the biggest advantage. Yeah, this is it from my side. You have any questions or queries, you can always write me on my email, which is vikramag@acharya.ac.in. I enjoyed the interactive session with all of you. I wish you all the best for your career. Thank you.